And we are back with another unboxing. Today we have on the bench the Beast Max. The name of this truck alone should put everything else to bed. Like, we should all tremble in fear because the Beast Max has entered the chat. It comes from a company called ZLL or ZLL, however you want to say that. It's a 1/16 scale. It's brushless. They're claiming on their website to be about 80 kilometers an hour, which I am not gonna put any money on that. There is a brushed version as well, which is a bit cheap, and they're claiming about 40 k's an hour on that one. But the brushless version is what I've got, and yeah, it's supposed to be half decent. We'll see how this thing pans out. Of course, I'll have links in the video description because this was supplied to me by Banggood, and they're currently having a sale on this truck as of the time of upload, where I think the first 50 people or so that order it get it for like 154 bucks Australian, and I think that comes with free shipping, and then it goes up to like 160 bucks or something. So you save a few bucks if you want to get in early and get this one for your kids or for yourself as a spare car. You can see here that this box has sustained some damage. The contents inside survived just fine. I haven't got any breakages or anything like that, but obviously that didn't stop Ace Ventura from kicking a field goal with this thing, and it made it to my front door in one piece, thank God. So let's get that out of the way, and let's have a look at what we're working with here. What do we got that Banggood has sent over for me to have a look at? Believe it or not, you know, they asked me to review a bunch of stuff from time to time, and I turn down a lot of cars, and sometimes I look at some and I think, oh, this might be okay. You know, it's a bit of a muck around car. Well, why not? You know, just give it a shot, see what it does, and we'll go from there. But this is what you get. As you saw, the car doesn't come with the wing installed, so I've installed the wing on there. It does also come with a wheelie bar, which we'll start with this because there is a few bits and pieces in here. So there is a wheelie bar supplied with the car, but obviously for packaging purposes, they don't put it on the car. And then you just have to undo a couple of screws. Actually, there's 4 screws, and this will go on. Wheels seem to spin pretty freely. I don't believe there's any adjustment on this, but not that you'd really want it on a car like this or need it. There's some screws in here to put the wheelie bar on. I've already taken 2 out of the bag to obviously put the spoiler on. And then we've got a bag with some grease or oil, or I'm assuming it'll just be grease. And there's also a couple of spare screws in here and some ball ends for the steering links. I presume that's the steering links. A couple of preload spacers, some spare body pins in here as well, which is nice to see, because let's face it, we all lose our body pins when we're out there running our cars. And then we've got some hardware in here, some other stuff. We've got a charger, USB charger for the included battery. We also have a little cross wrench, which is always nice because it allows you to take the wheels off the car. And we have a little screwdriver, which is what I used to put the spoiler on, is what you can use to put the wheelie bar on as well. They also give you a spare part here. This is like a little spring for the front or rear bumpers, which I think you can also use like once the wheelie bar is on. That will support the wheelie bar. And then we get the manual in here. There is actually a little leaflet here regarding the radio, so all the features that the radio has, some bits information regarding the car itself, and in here I think I saw when I opened this up there was a sticker sheet. Maybe, am I seeing things, or no, maybe not, maybe it was in another car, never mind. All right, so manual written in Chinese on this side. Yep, there's some information there. Yep, some step-by-step. Does it have an English version? Oh, it does. Okay, it's on the back. So it's like 2 manuals stapled together. All right, so that's what that is. So this back piece here, this has got all your parts. It's got all the instructions on how to put the wheelie bar on, how to pull things apart, service the car, yada yada. You get the idea. That's the user manual. The radio and car, let's move on. Okay, kicking things off with the radio. Yeah, look, features wise, on paper, and I do mean like on paper, It's actually not that bad. Like, it's got some pretty cool features, like channel 3 here apparently turns the lights on and off. It's got a 3-speed position switch, so you can turn down, just like you see some of the Spectrum Spectrum radios. You can adjust the top speed of the vehicle by just moving this little lever here, and you can do that on the fly quite easily with one hand, so it's just with your thumb. Trigger is actually weighted, it's not too bad. And then we've got our on and off switch just over here. We've got a reverse switch, which I presume is for the steering. We have steering dual rates, and we've got steering trim over here, right? So on paper, this is all very good. What I can't convey properly through camera is how light and cheap this thing feels. Like, it's ridiculous. And it doesn't quite sit 100% on its feet. Of course, you can lay it down. You can lay it down like that. The foam wheel is actually not that bad, but what I have a bit of an issue with is something that I noticed pretty much straight away is just how much wobble it has. So just bear that in mind. Like, the radio is not the best. Handle with care is probably the best advice I can give you. Don't go dropping this thing, throwing it around. And you know, if you give this to a kid and they're cranking on this wheel to turn the wheels of the car, just be mindful that you may actually break this thing. And batteries wise, let's see, it runs on 3 AA's by the looks of things, which is okay. All right, but it feels like super cheap, super lightweight. Hopefully range is okay, and I don't have any like major latencies or anything like that, because the trigger position, you know, ergonomically, like, it fits well in the hand, and steering's there. You can do, you know, drive one hand as well. Everything's like ticking a lot of boxes. It feels real nasty. So let's hope it isn't real nasty. And now for the Beast Max. This is an absolute beast of a car. It's got LEDs on the front bumper here. It's got a body that resembles a body of another car from another brand that shall not be named in this video. It's got a wing that also resembles a wing from another car from another brand in a much bigger scale. And then of course you can put your wheelie bar back here. Wheels and tires, no foam in here. There's no foam in these at all. And suspension wise, yeah. Here's the thing, right? I'm going to have a little rant. Because I think companies that do these cars, it's okay, like, if it's brushed, like the brushed version, if it comes like this with no foam in the tires and it's no oil and it's just the friction shocks, and like, you can give that a pass. It's a brushed car. It's not going to be very fast, right? And it's designed for beginners, designed to keep costs down. Like, we get it. It's an entry level. But when you do brushless, can we just unanimously just agree that this should be prohibited? There should be fines to these companies that bring out a brushless car and don't have foam in the wheels, in the tires, and don't have oil shocks. Like, just
stop it. Get some help.
Please, just stop. This has to stop, right? We're in 2024, not 1984. Like, I get it. Like, this is a Banggood car. You know, people, I know you guys are going to be very vocal in the comments. I know my audience. I know my crowd. But can I, if ZLL, whoever made this thing, if they watch this video, can you have, next time you have a board meeting or a Teams meeting or anything like that, somebody just put their hand up and just go, can we not do this? Can we please not do this? Like, if you're gonna go through the effort, just another 5% of effort would make a big difference in how this thing's gonna drive, okay? Okay, rant over. Because I know how this is gonna go, because you guys have seen, I did one a little while ago that also was brushless and didn't have oil in the shocks, and the thing was a nightmare to drive. And anyway, Body pins out. And let's have a look inside this thing. Body-wise, typical, nothing special. There's no plastic bits and pieces to protect the body or anything like that. It's probably a PVC body, but it's a body. Car comes with a little lithium-ion battery there, brushless motor on this side, ESC and receiver in one. So this also creates another problem because here's the other thing as well. Oh no, okay. Well, I read somewhere that it had a 5 cable servo and it doesn't, it's a 3 cable, which means you can replace the servo. But the ESC and receiver in one, yeah, I mean, look, I get it. It's going to be probably cheap to manufacture. You know, you don't have to have a receiver box. Everything's waterproof. But the minute you try to upgrade your radio, now you have to get a new ESC as well. And it just, the costs start to creep up a little bit when you want to start to get this thing good. You know, finding shocks that are going to fit in here, that you can get, that's going to work with, yeah. So you can see where I'm going with this. Now, in saying that, like, you guys have to understand, like, when I saw this and they said, hey, do you want to review this car? I said, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know that it comes like this. I can only see it for, like, the pictures. The pictures don't say that the shocks are not oil filled. It don't say that it doesn't come with foam in the tires. The tires themselves actually don't feel that bad. Like, the wheels are good and everything, but it's just, come on, a little bit of foam here would be nice, and the shocks. But you get, the battery is a 1500 milliamp, 7.4 volt lithium ion. So it's not going to have a huge amount of punch. You can probably run, obviously, lipos in here and get a little bit more speed. I think the 80 k's an hour is probably going to be claimed with a 3S. So I've got to try and find a 3S that I'm going to be able to fit in here. And I don't know how that's going to happen because, well, there's no adjustment on the strap here. So how's this going to work? Let me have a look here, because see, I can't even put Velcro on the chassis because it has these ridges on here. There's nowhere to put like a battery strap. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to hit 80 k's an hour with this battery. I don't know. Look, maybe I'm going to be eating my words when I run this thing, but we've got an aluminium brace here on top, which doesn't look super strong, but at least it's alloy. It's got a hex metal or steel drive shaft going through here, through the middle. We've got standard dog bones in the rear. So we have metal dog bones there. We've also got CVDs in the front, which is a nice touch. Bumper looks like it can take a few hits. Same with the rear, and I hope the wheelie bar will do the same once that goes on. Body posts are adjustable to an extent. LEDs on the front, as you saw. The motor, I can't read the specs because it's hidden behind some stuff, but I'll put them up on screen because I'm sure they will be on the box or in the manual or something like that. And likewise with the ESC, which I think is a 35 amp. It actually says it on there. 35 amp. Actually, no, you're not going to be able to run 3S because according to this, it says 35 amp 2S. So, it says it right there. What that means is that if I probably plug a 3S in here, this thing's gonna, like, its soul will exit the body, as we know. Possibly, potentially. If it's got over voltage protection, it'll be fine. But if it doesn't, bad things will happen. So there we have it. A quick little unboxing of this thing. It does have, look, it does have alloy hinge pins, hinge pin holders here on the front of the front A-arms and on the rear of the rear A-arms. And then it doesn't have alloy hinge pins on the inside because it's actually molded on to the chassis. And this, I suppose stuff like this is something that a lot of people will overlook, right? Because, it's molded into the chassis. Now, Armour did the same thing with their 3S line, and when you broke the little ears that hold the hinge pin, you had to swap out the entire chassis. And same thing will happen here. Now, I don't think that this is heavy enough or even going to be traveling fast enough that that's going to happen. It's going to be a common occurrence. But if it's claiming 80 k's an hour, I mean, this thing could weigh as much as a paperclip. If it's going fast enough, it'll create some damage. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with this little guy when I do run it. Normally I would like to do the running video in the same video as the unboxing and come back and give you guys a bit of an assessment for the car and all that sort of thing. But the stars haven't really aligned for me to be able to do that all in one go before release date. So you're going to get the unboxing separate from the running video on this occasion. And then yeah, we'll come back maybe after the running video and I'll give you a bit of a I'll give you a part 2 and let you know how this thing went. But based on my experience with previous models that don't have oil-filled shocks and don't have foam in the tires, I don't have. Is the body going to go on, or is it going to be just like really difficult right now? What's happening? What is the problem, sir? Why will you not go? What am I doing wrong? Am I not lining up? Here we go. All right, so we'll see how this pans out. Apologies for that. But there we have it. The radio, the car, some bits and pieces, some spare parts, wheelie bar that I still got to fit, and we'll take it out for a run, and we'll come back after the run on that on the next video, and I'll let you know how this thing went. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And again, check out the video description. I'll have links in there for this. I do want to say a big thank you to Banggood for sending this out for a review. I do appreciate them supporting the channel and keeping me in their circle of friends when they want something reviewed and showed off. So thank you to them for supplying this. That's it from me. Catch you next time. Bye.